9 bad habits that make you fat. You received. Be stunned to hear that eating an excessive amount of saturated fats and subtle sugar will unavoidably result in obesity. Terrible weight loss program plus a sedentary way of life. Paperwork. The premise of most weight gain, and will increase your risk of ailments like diabetes, cancer, and coronary heart disorder. And wager what? You may honestly be gaining weight via behaviors you don't even consciously apprehend. As it turns out, there is numerous behavior that appears nice on their face but is virtually sneakily including kilos for your frame. Getting to know the subsequent 9 examples gets you an extended manner towards a healthy weight, even without taking on a restrictive and depressing weight loss program routine. 1. Eating foods labeled low fats. Contrary to years of public health warnings about the risk of ingesting fats, new research points to sugar as a far more potent driving force of obesity. For years we've all been shopping for low-fat ingredients because they're advertised as wholesome. However, the fact is pretty the other. Meals that have had their herbal fat removed may have low energy, however that fat is changed with sugar and different chemical additives that are genuinely worse. All that sugar receives used or saved via the body quickly, leaving you hungry again in short order. Mockingly, in case you had simply eaten a meal with a great quantity of healthful, unsaturated fats, you will probably devour fewer general calories in the course of the day due to the fact you'd stay full longer. 2. Eating too fast. Virtually it doesn't be counted how fast we devour our meals if it turns out to be an equal amount of meals average, right? Well, yes, that's authentic. However, the trouble lies within the reality that it takes our stomachs about 20 minutes to signal to the brain that we're full. That means that whilst you shovel in your meals, you don't understand that you're overeating till it's too past due. It in no way does turn out to be an equal amount of meals typical. Take your time, as a minimum of 20 minutes, to finish every meal. Take a look at out of the College of Rhode Island determined that those who ate slowly and savored their food truly took in 1/3 road less than folks that stuffed their food. One desirable approach for slowing down is to reduce your meals into smaller bites. 3. Skipping food. It looks as if skipping a meal or might mean lower energy ate up in a day. And in any case, taking in low energy than you burn is the entire aim. Unluckily, this practice has been proven to position on, rather than take off, weight. The cause is twofold. First, your metabolism slows down when you bypass food. This means that it takes longer to burn energy while you do devour. And 2d, you're more likely to overeat while you come to the table ravenous. The American Journal of Epidemiology published research that located that people who pass breakfast are a surprising 4.5 times much more likely to overweight. 4. Eating with obese buddies. It's human nature. When we are in a social institution that supports certain behavior, we're much more likely to interact in that conduct. So, whether your pals are overweight or no longer, if they overheat, you're about 57% much more likely to do the identical. 4. Consuming with obese pals. It's human nature, sincerely. Whilst we are in a social institution that helps certain conduct, we are more likely to have interaction in that behavior. So, whether your friends are obese or now not, if they overheat, you're approximately 57% much more likely to do the same. Curiously, studies have also shown that eating within the presence of an obese individual may additionally lead you to overeat even if the other character does no longer. This isn't always to mention that you need to cut out friends who are overweight. Instead, plan one-of-a-kind sports that burn calories in an amusing way. Use that human tendency to do what your pals are doing to your benefit. 5. Not getting sufficient sleep. Sleep and weight benefit don't appear as they can possibly be connected, but they are. Chemically talking, missing out on an excessive amount of shut-eye spikes your degree of the stress hormone cortisol, which in turn messes with the body's capacity to procedure sugar through insulin. All that extra sugar turns to fat. However, in a behavioral field, being exhausted results in poor selections because we just don't have the strength to buy and prepare dinner healthy food. We'll simply take hold of some rapid meals and skip the gymnasium, developing a vicious cycle wherein there's by no means sufficient electricity to take the healthful actions essential to turn the tide. 6. Eating from massive plates. Once more, you will be wondering how this may possibly make a distinction. The truth is that we unconsciously use the ratio of meals to plate diameter to choose whether or not our portions are sufficient. When you have a massive plate, the proper quantity of meals is going to look like not anything however desk scraps. On a smaller plate, an inexpensive component fills it up, making us experience satisfied because we ate a full plate. And certainly, you will feel complete, just not overfull. Incidentally, a take a look at out of Spain determined that human beings have a tendency to devour much less from crimson plates, so undergo that during thoughts when you move shopping for new dinnerware. 7. Forgetting what you drank. Such things as soda and juice don't clearly make humans feel complete, at the least now not for lengthy, but just one single serving bottle carries as tons sugar as we have to get in an entire day. Beer and wine can both be quite excessive in energy too, specifically due to the fact that parents seldom prevent at simply one. However, when we consider what we fed on during any given day, what we drank is seldom considered. Sorry, however, those energies do be counted. Consuming commonly water as your nice wager, but very gently sweetened tea and espresso also are superb choices that can stave off boredom without including a ton of calories on your day. 8. Mindless ingesting. One of the worst times to devour is when you're watching TV because records display that you are probable to eat 5 to 10x greater than you'll in case you weren't distracted. It's not just television, though. Consuming lunch at your table or in the course of an emotional dialogue can also create a simply sufficient distraction to overeat without understanding it. In case you are going to eat distracted, pre-element your meal or snack so that after it's long gone, it's long gone. 9. No longer making plans beforehand. If you wait till you are ravenous to determine what to cook, that choice is going to be manner tougher. We literally can't think instantly when we're hungry. And genuinely, while become the last time you were starving and grabbed a bit of fruit rather than a cookie for a snack. Our brains are hardwired to want instantaneous gratification. If you take the time to plot your meals earlier, there may be much less wondering to do while it's time to cook. If you absolutely do need a snack, make sure your kitchen is stocked with things that experience a touch indulgent whilst nonetheless presenting stable vitamins, as complete wheat pita chips dipped in hummus or guacamole. And ultimately, were you amazed by means of any of those awful habits? While we generally tend to think about weight as a frame issue, our brains are much more concerned in our diets than we suppose. Whether yours is clamoring for a treat or completely looked at, your waistline will show the results. However, one of the pleasant matters about being human is that we're self-aware sufficient to recognize and confront the messages we get. Putting your mind to transferring far away from these 9 bad habits is a surely exquisite start to a healthier lifestyle.